It's the worst mass shooting in Austrian history. A former student opens fire inside a high school in Graz. 10 people are killed, most of them teenagers. The attack hits Austria in its heart. The entire country is in shock. And of course, the incident is also causing a lot of sadness here in neighboring Germany. Hi, Adrian.
I am.
You're in the center of things at the moment, and you said that a minute of silence was planned this morning. Has it already taken place?
Yes, it has taken place at 10 o'clock. It was a nationwide minute of silence, not only here in Graz, all over the country. People were stopping whatever they're doing and remembered those that were killed during this brutal attack yesterday. More than 10 people died. There are still some under life-threatening conditions in hospital, so the number might still go up. And people are really still in shock here about this situation. You can see behind me, this is the school where this terrible attack happened yesterday. Right now, you still see a lot of people coming here to put down candles to remember those who were killed and also pray for those who are still in hospital. I see this big sign here, Graz steht zusammen. It's written there, so basically the city is standing together during this difficult time. It was brought here by football fans, this flag, to show solidarity, to show that the city is standing together, everyone is supporting each other. Maybe I'll take you on a walk to the other side here, just 50 meters away from the school, where still a lot of students are gathering to talk about the situation to each other, to try to come to terms with what happened yesterday. So what we know so far is that the person who, let's cross the roads over here, what we know so far is that the person who allegedly is responsible for the attack is 21 years old, Austrian young man who was a student at the school himself in the past. He finished his school education here, but not on a regular terms. He basically left school early. And this is the only official confirmed information that we have so far. There's a lot of speculation going on why he did what he did, but it hasn't been approved or confirmed by the authorities here. In Austrian media, they're talking about that he was possibly a victim of mobbing in the past in his school term, but once again, that is not confirmed. That is just speculation at this stage. And I talked to a pastor here today who was with the students the whole day yesterday. He also said, to be honest, it sounds weird, but we don't care who is responsible at this stage. At this stage, we have to talk about the young people. How can they look forward? How can they process what happened here? This, he said, is the main challenge at the moment and the main responsibility for teachers as well as pastors and the authorities alike. You see, here is another place where people come to mourn, where they bring candles, flowers. This has been happening ever since the evening yesterday and since the early morning, where it is since 6 o'clock in the morning that you see people coming to bring flowers and candles here. There's one picture that we can show you. Earlier today, we talked to a family. They brought their 6-year-old daughter to a school just around the corner here, 50 meters away. And, the father told me he had to explain his daughter in the morning, 6-year-old, for the first time what a gun is and why people used it. And he said he was totally overwhelmed. He didn't know how to explain it. He was grateful that the school of his daughter decided to open and dedicate the first hour to talk about what happened, try to process this exchange among the young people, try to make them understand. The mother of the 6-year-old girl is American, and she actually said, well, in America, we're used to this kind of gun violence. Unfortunately, we see it almost at a daily basis, but that we see it here in Austria, that really shocked her, because she thought here they would be safe from these sort of incidents.
Really incredibly sad, incredibly shocking, and probably really difficult also for teachers and parents to explain what happened. And probably especially shocking when you have children also that go to school. But what I also found interesting is that all politicians from left to right seem to agree and say, let's not exploit this situation politically. And I read a little bit about the political situation in the region, and it seems quite interesting because the mayor is a communist actually, and the head of the region of Steiermark is from the far right. So an interesting political mix, but even in this situation, everybody seems to agree. let's not talk about politics, or at least let's not exploit this politically at the moment. Still, we have to talk a little bit about political issues. There has been a discussion about gun laws already, right, in Austria, because they seem to be quite lax, at least compared to Germany.
Yeah, exactly. Also compared to other European countries. And of course, that is a topic that people are talking about here at this stage. The alleged shooter basically bought his guns on a legal basis. He had two guns, according to the authorities, a long gun, they said, and a short gun. The law here is like this. So you have category C guns that basically everybody above the age of 18 can just buy in any gun shop without any paperwork or any precondition. You only have to be 18. You can go there. The only responsibility that you have is to register the gun afterwards. So these are long guns, so basically hunting rifles. He had one of those, but he also had short gun, a pistol. For this one, these are category B rifles under Austrian law. For these ones, you need to do a psychological test. You need to provide a reason why you want to buy them. For example, that you're a member of a shooting club. And basically, you need to get a specific permit to hold them. The shooter, the alleged shooter, also had this permit, so obviously he got it legally. And here in Graz, you can even see gun stores that are advertising outside when you're 18 by shooting a hunting rifle without any papers. So this is something that some people now say we should change. Austria has about 1.5 million registered firearms in the country. There are only 9 million people in Austria, so compared to the amount of people living here, that's significantly higher than in Germany, for example. So it is something that is debated, but on the other hand, he also doesn't say that Austria has a proportionally higher part of mass shootings like those than other countries. That is not the case. It's the first time in history that something this dimension is happening here. And so that's why a lot of people are still under shock. You just saw a group of students passing here. Those are likely students who are attending the school around the corner here, who would usually be in school right now. It's a school day, but instead they will be heading back to the hall there where they get psychological care, psychological treatment. So it will still take a very long time, I think, until these wounds can really be healed and until people will be able to process what happened yesterday.
Thanks a lot for the information, Adrian. Thanks a lot for sharing your first impressions. And I'm looking forward to hear more. Let's see what you will find out in the coming hours. We will stay in touch. Also, of course, thanks a lot to our viewers for your interest, as always. And yes, we will talk soon. Thanks a lot.